Halloween time is known as the spookiest time of the year, when we see the rise of many ghosts and spirits from beyond the grave. Every year, the Ocean Historical Museum brings the spirits of Monmouth County to life during their event known only as the Ghost Walk.
The Ghost Walk is not a scary event, even though we hold it around Halloween time. We hold it around Halloween time because that's the time when the spirits come back from the other side.
And as the guests arrive, they will be put into two separate groups, and they'll get to see the spirits of Asbury Park. They'll get to meet them and who they were when they were here.
We have Mrs. James Bradley. James Bradley was the man who founded Asbury Park in 1871.
He named this new community Asbury Park after Francis Asbury, the man who helped spread Methodism across America.
We're going to have Arthur Pryor. Arthur Pryor was a famous, in his day, trombone player. He played for John Philip Sousa.
My character is Arthur Pryor. He's important to the Ghost Walk because he performed in Asbury Park 17 years straight in the summer of 1904 through 1921.
Lorenzo Harris was a famous sand sculptor that did sand sculpting along the Asbury Park beach back in the early 1900s through 1946.
We have Barbara Samaha. She came to Asbury Park as a young woman and was a seamstress and sold dainty apparel, nightgowns and lingerie from a suitcase. Her customers were so loyal they urged her to open a shop.
In 1946, I moved into a 3-story building on 515 Cookman Avenue and opened the dainty apparel that most people remember.
The city is well known as a resort, and it was in fact founded as a resort, but from the beginning, Bradley, who was a businessman, had the idea that he would make Asbury Park a year-round healthy community, and for that he needed a thriving retail and commercial center.
She was pretty much like the female underdog of the time, and she had her own store and did everything on her own, and she's very powerful for that reason.
We also have 2 young actresses who will be channeling sightseers to the wreck of the Morro Castle.
Never forget the announcer's voice, his surprise and terror as he described the burning hull of the luxury cruise ship Morro Castle drifting directly towards him.
Over 100,000 people came to see it. It was in the middle of the Depression. It happened to be a boon for Asbury Park because those 100,000 sightseers bought food and drink and souvenirs. We have 2 young actresses who are channeling ushers, or what they called in the day, pre-PC day, usherettes.
They sort of basically showed people to their seats, and they were kind of attendants, I guess.
The Mayfair was a movie theater in the style of the grand movie palaces of the 20s. It was opened in the 1920s.
There was the movie at the St. James Bridge over River Kwai came out in 1958, and to celebrate, Walter Reed built a replica of the actual bridge over Cookman Avenue. It was 70 feet long.
Our guests then go into the party and they meet the special musicians who have gathered together to have a reunion representing the different eras of Asbury's music scene. And finally, we have our own Connie Francis, who will represent the 50s and the pop scene in the city.
We're portraying or bringing to life Evelyn Kane, and she was part of the parade. She was Princess Flora and was part of the royal court and a royal attendant for Queen Titania.
I am your ghostess with the mostest, Miss Evelyn Kane, and I know a thing or two about royalty, as I was Princess Flora and attendant to Queen Titania at the annual Asbury Park Baby Parade of 1924.
What we hope for a Ghost Walk is that it brings a sense of adventure and almost joy to the exploration of something that otherwise the visitor might have thought was dull or boring. And there's nothing like interacting with our ghosts to get a real lively sense of what was going on.